Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going inside one of the most demanding training programs in the world. This is where elite firefighters are pushed to their absolute limits to learn the science of saving lives.
Okay, let's just dive right in. This is the official mission statement from the Changhua County Fire Department's training plan. And, right off the bat, you can tell this isn't just about putting out fires. It's about mastering chaos, predicting danger, and above all else, survival. And get this, the stakes are just incredibly high. Out of hundreds of experienced firefighters from 4 major battalions, only 30 are selected for this elite 10-day advanced course. We're talking about the best of the best being trained to be even better.
So to really get how they do it, we're going to break this intense training down into 5 core pillars. We'll look at the mindset they have to forge, the science they have to master, the tools they use, the chaos they command, and finally, the ultimate trial by fire.
You have to think of this 80-hour program as a total crucible. It starts by basically tearing down everything these veterans think they know, getting them ready for these super complex, high-stakes situations where the normal rules just don't apply, and every single decision could mean life or death.
So, where does a training program this intense even begin? Well, it's not with a fire hose. It starts with the individual. The whole foundation of survival begins by facing the one thing that absolutely terrifies every firefighter, the idea of being trapped, lost, or hurt inside a blaze.
In the entire world of firefighting, there's no call more dreaded than hearing Mayday over the radio. It's a declaration that a firefighter is in immediate, life-threatening danger. A huge part of this training is learning exactly how and, just as importantly, when to make that call.
Because when you're under that kind of extreme stress, clarity is everything, right? That's why they drill them on something called the Lunar Report. It's basically a structured cry for help, a simple acronym that helps them transmit the most critical information to command, giving any rescue attempt the best possible shot at success.
And who answers that Mayday call? Well, it's not just any crew. There's a specialized unit known as a Rapid Intervention Team, or RIT, that's always on standby at a major fire. Their training, their equipment, it's all focused on one thing, and one thing only.
And this is a really profound shift in mindset we're talking about here. When a Mayday is called, the entire focus of the operation can pivot in a heartbeat. The priority isn't just about fighting the fire anymore. It's about fighting for a fellow firefighter's life.
Okay, so once those fundamental survival skills are literally drilled into them, the training gets even more intense. It moves on to mastering the environment itself. And while they have a lot of tools, the most critical, and honestly, the most complex, is water.
And listen, this isn't some textbook question. This was a real-life challenge a crew faced at a blazing car repair shop in Lugong. The building was packed with flammable stuff, and the closest water source was hundreds of meters away. Their only choice was a constant relay of water tanker trucks.
So how do they solve it? Well, it all comes down to physics. Getting water from a tanker, through all that hose, and out a nozzle with enough force to actually fight a fire, it takes some serious calculations. They have to figure out friction loss based on how much water is flowing, the hose diameter, the length. If they get it wrong, the water pressure at the nozzle just dies. It becomes useless.
So, you might be asking, how on earth do you train for something that complex and high pressure? Well, you turn it into a game. And this is just brilliant. The trainees use poker cards to represent the tanker trucks, forcing them to manage resources, travel times, and flow rates in this really intense, hands-on simulation.
And really, this gets to the absolute heart of the entire program. It's all about translating this dense, abstract science into split-second, life-saving decisions. It's about turning a complicated equation into something you can just feel, a skill you can use under the craziest conditions imaginable.
Right, so here's the thing. Having incredibly skilled firefighters and mastering all the technical tools, it's still not enough. On a chaotic fire ground, all those moving parts have to be perfectly coordinated. Otherwise, what you have is just well-equipped chaos.
I mean, just think about it. You've got teams going into a burning building, you've got other crews on the roof cutting holes for ventilation, and you've got tankers trying to manage the water supply. How do you make sure everyone is working towards the same goal safely? Well, the answer is a system designed to bring order to the most chaotic places on Earth. It's a system called the Incident Command System, or ICS. It's a standardized command structure that runs on a super strict set of priorities, and they're always in this order. Number 1, life safety. Number 2, stabilizing the incident. And only then, number 3, protecting property. Every single decision flows from that hierarchy.
But And this is so important. The instructors really hammer this home. ICS isn't just a flowchart on a wall. It's a human system. For a commander to send a team into a burning building and for that team to go, there has to be this absolute, unshakable foundation of trust. And like the training manual says, that's something you just can't fake.
All right, and that brings us to the grand finale, the culmination of this entire 10-day program. This is where all the pillars we've talked about, survival, technical skill, and command, are all brought together and put to the ultimate test.
What they do is, they send these trainees into the specially designed steel shipping container. It's called a flashover container. Inside, a fire is deliberately lit and carefully brought to the point of flashover. That's the deadly moment when every single thing in a room ignites all at once.
And you just have to hear how one participant described it. It's one thing to read about fire behavior in a book, but it is a whole other thing to actually feel the heat building on your back, to watch the smoke layer drop, and to learn firsthand how a quick blast of water, or even just closing a door, can tame an inferno.
And this is taken right from the training. It just shows you the insane danger they are willingly walking into. I mean, look at this. They start at basically body temperature, but in less than 45 minutes, the temperature at the ceiling skyrockets to over 600 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt aluminum. They are literally training inside an oven. And in that final scorching test, it all clicks. Everything comes together. The personal survival skills to handle the heat, the technical mastery to control the fire, and the absolute trust in their commander and their team, which is the foundation of the whole thing. This is where training gets forged into pure instinct.
So what this all really shows us is that running towards the fire, it takes so much more than just courage. It demands intellect, a deep understanding of physics and chemistry, and a strategic mind that can stay cool in the heart of total chaos. It's a powerful reminder that underneath that helmet is not just a hero, but a highly trained scientist and a tactician.